friends, and welcome to today's class. For today, there are no props required, so whenever you have your space to practice in, go ahead and meet me in child's pose at the back of your mat. And nice and slow, go ahead and sink your hips back towards your heels, arms stretched out in front of you. And then keeping that connection of your lower body. Nice and slowly start to walk the hands closer to the top of the mat, sinking the chest down, nice and low. And take your time getting there. Allow the movements to be slow, deliberate, intentional. No need to jump right into it. Find some ease. A nice, gentle introduction into your shape, onto your mat. And as you walk your hands further away from you, your belly starts to fall a little bit further between the thighs, closer to the earth as the chest starts to do the same. Maybe the forehead falls between the biceps and rests onto the mat. Again, take your time getting into this space. Create as much space for yourself as you need to allow your body to settle in, allow those fidgets, those rearrangements to occur. And as you settle into your space, allow the breath to get a little bit deeper, filling your lungs, expanding your rib cage a little bit further. Today's class is a nice little flow to kind of get your day started, to wake your body up. So a common theme that I want you to just keep in mind is that we're creating space, we're opening the body up. So none of these movements are going to be your biggest expression. And they're not going to be the biggest movements right off the bat. Ease your way into space. Let the breath guide you into more movement as your body starts to waken up. Take another breath or so. So with that deep inhale, fill the lungs all the way up. Pause at the top. And then open the mouth, exhale. Seal the lips, deep inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Go ahead and palm the earth, really grip into the mat. And then nice and slow, start to gently press down through the shins, through the top of the feet, grip through the hands, pull the body forward. Doming through the upper back. As the shoulders start to make their way over the wrists, you scoop that tailbone underneath you. And then when the shoulders stack officially over top the hands, you let those hips fall, you let the feet come apart, you open the chest. High cobra. And then exhale, press through the hands to lift the hips, send them back, maybe finding a nice cow pose as the hips come back down towards the heels. Pausing into that child's pose before rippling back forward towards the top of the mat, gripping through the earth, pulling the body forward, dragging as you round through the spine. And then the hips fall. As the shoulders stack over the wrists, open the body up. Then exhale. Send the hips, the tailbone back in space, maybe finding a nice cow pose. Sitting back, child's pose. Inhale, pull forward. Rearrange your shape as you need as you transition front to back. Maybe a slight bend in the elbows. Still staying strong and lifted within the chest, so shoulders away from the ears. Then exhale, sit those hips back. One more round, inhale, round. Create space, opening within the back body. Let the shoulder blades spread wide. As you pull your chest and heart forward, inhale, high cobra. Exhale, lower down, hips down, belly down, chest down. And just rest the forehead on the back of the hands, shimmy the hips. Deep breaths, feeling the belly fill against the earth. Exhale, release. Fingertips come into 10 and 2, elbows towards the sky. On that inhale, press through the fingertips as you reach the chest and heart forward. Finding some movement through the spine a little bit further. Exhale, fall. Inhale through center. Exhale, dip that right shoulder down the middle as you gaze over towards the left. Feel the stretch within the front of that shoulder, opening within that space. Inhale, press through center. Exhale, gaze over to the right as the left shoulder dips in. Feel the stretch within the front of that shoulder joint. Inhale, press through center. Exhale, lower. As you lower down, extend that right arm out. The left fingertips stay where they are. Bend that left knee. Drop the right ear towards the mat as you reach those left toes over towards the right fingers, opening a little bit more through the spine, through the shoulder. Keep reaching those right toes long. Come back through center, switching sides. Once you find your center, go ahead and bring the right fingertips down. The left arm comes out. The forehead starts down. And then bend that right knee. Drop the left ear to the mat, as long as that's comfortable, and then reach those right toes over towards the left fingertips. They're not going to get there. That's just what we're aiming toward, to find a nice opening of the belly towards the right side of the room. Find it as an opening through the spine, the left shoulder. Come back through center. The left fingertips come down to the earth, forehead down, and then inhale. Open up, coming into that oscillating cobra, that high cobra space. And then exhale, lower. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press down through the hands, through the knees, come up into a tabletop position. And as you come into the space, feel free to bump the hips left to right. Circle your shoulders over your wrists. Just find some nice fluid movement here. You can tuck the toes so you can work through the soles of the feet. Open up that space. And then find some freedom within the spine here. Maybe finding some more fluid cat-cows, some barrel rolls. Wake the body up in a way that feels good for you. Waking up the core, waking up the back body, warming up through the wrists, the feet. This is a whole body experience, so allow it to be that. Linger where it feels good. Spend some extra time where it does as well. And then find your way into that tabletop position. Pause here, integrate gentle engagement of the core, pressing through the heels of the hand, reaching the crown of the head nice and long, so your shape is nice and elongated, but also nice and engaged, stable and supportive. From this space, you're shifting your weight into left leg, right arm. Inhale, extend the left arm, the right leg. Find that engagement, that stability. Pausing here. Exhale, drive everything in, round. Tuck underneath yourself before expanding, opening everything back out. Reach those right fingertips, reach the right toes, the left fingertips. Before dropping that left hand down, kickstand the left leg out. Open up that right arm towards the sky, keeping that right leg lifted just for a moment. Again, feeling that strength, pressing the hips forward, keeping them stacked on top of one another. And then dropping that right foot down as you reach the right arm up and overhead. Feel that expansion. So we're finding a nice engagement, waking up those muscles by contracting them, waking them up in that capacity, and then opening up through that space. Nice little wake up for the body. Really reaching those right fingertips towards the top of the mat as you anchor down through the outer blade of that right foot. Bumping that right rib cage up towards the sky, creating as much space as you can. And exhale, keep reaching those right fingertips towards the top of the mat as the right hand comes to meet the left. Left leg comes back to neutral, right leg meets the left. Feel free to shimmy side to side. Find that freedom of movement to kind of recenter yourself before going on to the opposite side. So now anchoring down through the, oh goodness, the left hand, the right leg. Find that nice integrated space. Inhale, reach right fingertips towards the top, left toes towards the back of the mat. Strong and lifted through the belly as you reach away from that center. Exhale, drive everything in, round, and pull everything in towards one another. Inhale, stretch it out, reach away from that enclosed, contracted space. Exhale, right hand down, kickstand the right leg out, open the hips up, the body up towards the left side of the room. Keeping that left leg lifted, keeping those hips pressing forward so we're stacked, we're strong, we're engaged. Just for a moment here, before dropping that left foot down, reaching the left arm up and overhead. Keeping those hips pressing forward. Keeping that reach, that nice long line of energy from the outer blade of the left foot, all the way up the outside of the leg, through the left rib cage, the left armpit, as you reach those left fingertips towards the top of the mat. Makes a big rainbow shape. Using your connection to the earth to help lift away from that space. Keep reaching that left hand towards the top of the mat as you start to find your way back towards tabletop position. Left hand lands, right leg back to neutral, left leg meets the right. Find the movement side to side, forward and back. Find those barrels, those fluid cat-cows. Work into the wrists as you feel like you need. Maybe reversing the grip of the hands so that the fingertips roll out and toward the knees. So you're working more through the underside of the forearm, but you're still keeping that lift of the neck so that you're keeping your head away from your shoulders. You're not crowding in on yourself. And then if you flipped your grip, come out of that for just a moment, keeping those toes tucked, maybe bringing the thighs, the shins a little closer to one another. You're going to sit your hips back towards your heels, coming into toes pose. And as you come into this space, make sure all 10 toes are tucked underneath you. Sit bones are stacked on your heels. If you need a little bit of support, you can slip a blanket underneath your seat so you're a little bit more lifted. It might take a little bit of pressure off the toes, off the soles of the feet here. And then go ahead and lace your fingers together, bring your palms to your heart. Deep inhale into this space. Nice and lifted within the low belly, finding a nice neutral pelvis. Deep inhale. On the exhale, press away, flip the palms away from you, thumbs down towards the earth as you spread the shoulder blades wide. Open up through the back body. Inhale, lift the palms up towards the sky. Expand through the chest, pull the chest and heart forward between the shoulders. And then exhale, open, release the grip. Drive those elbows towards your hips, cactusing the arms. Reach up. Lace the hands back together, hands come through heart center. Exhale, deep inhale. Feel that energy into the palms of the hands. Exhale, flip the grip. Press away and round. Inhale, lift up. Really reach the palms of the hands towards the sky as you pull the chest and heart between the shoulders. Exhale, let go of that grip. Drive those elbows towards your hips. Drive the shoulder blades against the back body as you open the chest and heart forward. Inhale, reach those arms back overhead. On that exhale, lace those hands together, bring the hands back to heart center. Inhale, fill out. Exhale, remain in this space. On the inhale, come off the toes, tap the tops of the feet if that was a little bit more intense for you. And then go ahead and cross the shins, or cross the ankles, roll over the shins, come onto a seat. And then bring the soles of the feet towards one another. As the soles of the feet come towards each other, you're finding, so maybe you shimmy your hips side to side, coming onto your sit bones. Using the hands clasped around the feet to pull your spine nice and tall and long. Deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Nice and tall, and then on the exhale, elbows come towards the inner thighs. As you exhale, fold. Keeping the spine nice and long. Trying to dive your nose, your gaze just beyond the tips of the toes. Creating a nice long spine. And then once you feel like you've hit your capacity, allow the head to fall heavy. Feel a nice lengthening all the way through the low back. Through the length of the spine, all the way through the base of the skull. Using those elbows, those forearms to gently encourage those knees open, heavy towards the earth. Nice and slow, all the way back up. Right leg stays in. Extend the left leg nice and long. So you can be more at an angle. That left leg does not have to be straight in front. It can be open and off the mat just a little bit. And take a variation that feels good for you here today. So with that, you can square the chest over towards that left leg. So it's straight over top that thigh, and walk your hands down. If you want a more forward fold, if you want to add in a twist, left arm can come inside that left thigh. And that right arm can come up and over, reaching over towards that left leg. Again, you can have the chest facing towards the right side of the room, towards the top of the mat, or you can square the chest down and find a forward fold. And not finding our deepest movement, just exploring what feels good for you to wake the body up here. And you can transition between the two. So if you want to start with a fold, and if you want to move from your depth with a little bit more opening, you can find a twist from this space. Or you can find that twist and then move into a forward fold, grabbing hold of the outer blade of that left foot. Give yourself the opportunity to listen to your body, to adjust as you need. And to modify as you need. Wherever you move from, take your time, come on out. And then bring that left leg towards the center of the mat. Take that right leg, keeping that knee bent. Cross that right foot over top the left thigh so that that right foot is on the outside of that left leg. You can go ahead and give yourself a nice big hug of that right knee in towards the chest. This might be just fine for you here in this moment, or if you want a little bit extra, find a little bit of twist. Kickstand those right fingertips beyond the right hip. Inhale that left arm up and overhead, find a nice tall spine. And then on the exhale, the left arm comes on the outside of that right thigh to find a little moment of contact, a moment of leverage, to find a twist. Again, it doesn't have to be your biggest space. Ease your body into it. If you're doing this class first thing in the morning, allow your body the time, give yourself some grace to find space. Come back through center. Uncross that right leg. Bring the left foot in. Left foot, sole of the foot meets the right. Clasping the feet, inhale, tight, nice tall spine. Exhale, elbows towards the inner thighs, forward fold. Maybe taking note of the asymmetries you feel here in this moment compared to the one you just did. Keep a nice tall spine. And then once you've felt like you've hit your max in this fold, allow the head to hang heavy. And just here for a few breaths. Using those elbows, the forearms to encourage those knees open once more. And again, encouraging, not forcing. Inhale nice and slow, come on up. Left leg stays in, right leg extends long. Again, can be as open or as narrow as you like. Left sole of the left foot comes to the inner thigh. And then find either your fold or your opening. Feel free to transition from one to the other. Shimmy those sit bones out underneath you. Maybe even reaching back behind you as you fold forward. And same idea as the fold we just did in Baddha Konasana. When you find a nice long spine before you fold, the idea is just the same here. So we're finding a nice long spine. We're getting those sit bones underneath us. We're trying to get the action of the tailbone reaching back in space as you fold the crown of the head forward. Whether you're in that fold, whether you're in that opening. The idea is still the same, where you're finding a nice spot lift from your anchor. Here for another breath or so. Go ahead and walk those hands up. Subtle engagement of the belly so you're not lifting with your back. And then bring that right leg parallel to the long edges of the mat so that foot's right out in front of you. And then grab hold of that left leg to help guide it over top the right. Set that left foot along the outer edge of that right thigh. And you can just stay right here, hugging that left leg in towards your belly, finding a nice tall spine. That might be everything you need here in this space. Or kickstand those left fingertips beyond that left hip. Inhale that right arm up and overhead, nice tall spine. Exhale. Right arm outside the left thigh, tall spine. Using that connection to help guide through that twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale. Unravel the left foot from the right thigh. Bring the soles of the feet back toward one another. Grab hold. Shimmy those sit bones underneath you. Tall spine. And fold on the exhale. On the inhales, you're finding length lengthen on the exhales, you're settling into your space. Two more breaths. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. And then go ahead and kickstand the hands back behind you. Take the soles of the feet down towards the earth. And then go ahead and just windshield wiper side to side. Keeping the chest, the heart towards the top of the mat. So just finding movement through the hips. Coming back through center after your next round. And then find your way towards the center of your mat. Knees bent. Feet flat. Inhale, pull the chest and heart nice and tall. And then exhale, scoop the tailbone underneath you, round through the low back, the mid back, the upper back. And once you feel like you've rounded as much as you can't hold on any longer. Find a nice engagement of the core to help lower yourself down. Once you've lowered your spine onto the mat, extend the legs nice and long. Arms come out nice and wide. And find your Shavasana. Allow the body to open up here into this space. So if you need to open the legs a little bit wider, come off and beyond the edges of your mat. Feel free to do so. And just find your breath, your stillness, allowing the eyes to close, to fall heavy. Make any fidgets or adjustments that you need to create length, opening space, relaxation within your body. Be it finding a nice wiggle, roll of the ankles of the fingertips before stretching them out nice and long, open, and then settle. Allow the fingers to soften, the toes to point towards the top of the mat. Allowing ease in this space. Feeling that sensation that although you're not in any particular pose that would challenge your space per se, but as you scan your body from the ankles, the feet, the lower body, the hips, the spine, the shoulders, all the way through to the fingertips, the neck, and even the muscles within the jaw surrounding the eyes, every little nook and cranny of the body, even though we're not necessarily challenging the capacity or exploring depth and space here in this moment, your body does feel more spacious, more open, more prepared to take on different movements as you move in toward your day. Now with that space, you're continuing to find expansion within your chest, your lungs, your rib cage. By finding depth within your breath and allowing that to not only create space within your breath, but continue to maintain the space within your body that you created here in class today. And stay here for at least 5 to 10 more breaths, exploring that capacity and allowing your body to settle and enjoy that space in this moment of stillness, in these moments of stillness, before you jump back into your day. As always, I thank you so much for practicing with me, for sharing this space with me. I hope you enjoyed today's class, and I look forward to seeing y'all next time. Have an awesome rest of your day.